You may not know his name, but we are pretty sure that you have seen his work all over the city, from NOMA to the Howard Theater. Storyteller and artist Robert Young's artwork is making a big impact locally and beyond. Here's more. Robert, I'm so excited to talk to you today because your art is everywhere in DC. What are some of your favorite installations that you've done?
I would have to say the night that we put up the work at the Howard, or the day, it was a day and night. I know I've talked to DC people upon arriving about, what a foundational institution this building is. And I'd come to DC literally months after doing a massive installation on the Lyric Theater in Overtown, which has a great historic background in the African-American community here. So it was kind of really awesome to arrive in DC and do that at the Howard. Considering there's never been art on the side of the building, yeah. I felt very privileged to be the one to be able to put something special on there.
You moved from Canada, right, to come here to DC. What's kind of the difference of the art that you've noticed so far here?
Well, I mean, ironically, I moved from Toronto in 1999 to the U.S. I started in Los Angeles, lived in Atlanta, lived in Miami, lived in Medellin, Colombia, lived in Trinidad and Barbados and Anguilla. And I give you that context because there was something really special about coming to DC in February, right before the pandemic had hit. I'd come for a visit to see whether or not DC was a place that I wanted to move to next. And I had been here 25 years prior and had actually delivered a commercial for Bet on Jazz, for the launch of the Bet on Jazz network for BET, for which the 25th anniversary was in January. Wow. And being here was just amazing. There was an energy in DC that I had not felt in a US city. The sense of community, the sense of true diversity, people of all walks of life. And there was a determination to build. And I thought, wow, the capital, more people should know about this. I don't know if you all really know, being here as long as you have, when you're outside of DC, you have no idea how magnificent this place is till you're here. And it really landed on me after being away for so long. And it was super exciting to come here and make it home, even in the heart of the pandemic.
Yeah, you can notice things that we just drive by every day and take for granted. One thing, though, when I am out driving, I notice the murals that have been popping up in DC. And it's almost, those are my landmarks now, like the mural across the street from the pool where I go. Do you like that art is really changing a city like that?
I am a very, very stern believer, and it's only my personal opinion, that art is an opportunity to communicate ideas that bring us closer together. And so I'm not a huge fan of purely abstract art, but I am a great fan of art with messaging attached to it that creates dialogue and opens up lines of communication, impacts mental health and well-being. You're having a bad day, you walk by something, you're like, wow, and it just stops you for a minute, gives you a pause and a timeout to get away from the noise of the world. I think that's the purpose of art, for me at least. And so when I place pieces and try to do it as in many places as possible throughout the city, as I'm sure you now know, that's my intention. That's specifically how I see it. I came from Miami, where we have Wynwood. And the Wynwood Art District, there's a mandate on every single building that there has to be a mural on the side of the building. And there's an energy around that when you walk around that space, the dedication of artists to drive their passion. There's something special about artists communicating ideas when you're in a space and you're in an urban sprawl, like a big city. I think it means a lot.
Absolutely. And we almost are out of time, but I did want to ask you about Canada's 150th anniversary and what you did for the Pan American Games as well.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Very quickly, I traveled to Toronto after 15 years of being away and went on a mission to do an activation tied to the Pan Am Games. I ended up being able to do 41 7-foot-tall portraits of women's faces painted in the color of their nation's flag, a body of work called Young World Faces that I started many years ago, just after being in Sierra Leone shooting a documentary. So it's all this connection of city and culture and diversity. It was absolutely amazing. And then shortly after that, the Royal Ontario Museum asked me to do a commission for Canada's 150th anniversary, its birthday of the nation. And we did a huge 14-foot face of the face of Canada on display, where 150 Canadians were sworn in the museum that day. So, you know, it's an adventure, this body of work and working this way. And I'm super inspired, and I hope it inspires others.
Oh, it does. I want to thank you for leaving your stamp on our city and all across the globe. So thank you so much, Robert. It was great talking to you.
Thanks for having me.